Good afternoon, everyone. And today I am talking with Erick Crawford, Chief Financial Officer for Crawford Funeral Home and the 2021 Chairman of the Lancaster County Chamber of Commerce. This is our show, Taking Care of Business, and I'm your host, Dean Fail. This show is made possible by our gracious sponsors. You saw them up on the screen just a few minutes ago. They include Comporium Communications, Founders Federal Credit Union, MUSC Health Lancaster Medical Center, INSP Crossridge, Nutramax Laboratories, Oceana Gold, the Hell Operation, and PCI Group. We also like to thank Haynes Full Circle Benefit for hosting us and allowing us to use their studio. And we've got a quick commercial from Mr. Marty Haynes.
Employee benefits are the best way to retain valuable employees. What you offer, ease of enrollment, and how you manage the cost of those benefits is very important. Healthcare is expensive. Some employees may delay or forego care. Are you just accepting that renewal increase, or are you actively managing the cost of healthcare and benefit design in order to keep the costs manageable for your employees? It's time to lay the groundwork, scrap the cookie cutter approach, and develop customized solutions that meet the goals of your business and the needs of your employees. If you are ready for real alternatives and a trusted advisor, give us a call.
Erick, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dean. It's a pleasure to be on the show.
Well, we're glad to have you. First of all, congratulations on being named the 2021 board chair for the Lancaster County Chamber of Commerce. You know, the Lancaster Chamber started back in 1952 with Mr. Bubba Gregory and a few others kind of started the organization. And Mr. Charlie Bundy, that many people know, was our very first hired manager, and Bubba was our first chairman. So Erick, there's a long line of community leaders that you're following in their footsteps. How does that feel, buddy?
I'm excited and elated to be among this group of community leaders.
Well, I know you're going to do a great job. You and I have been talking about this year and working on it for really the last 6 months, I guess now. And I know you've got a lot of things that you're going to be working on. Before we jump into that, some folks might not know you. Why don't you tell us a little bit about you, where you went to school and what you do right now?
All righty. I'm a Lancaster native, born and raised in Lancaster, South Carolina. I'm the youngest son of Glenn and Audrey Crawford. I have an older brother, Glenn, that we all are family that works Crawford Funeral Home. I've recently been named CFO of Crawford Funeral Home, and I graduated from Lancaster High, York Tech, Francis Marion, and McAllister in Manhattan, New York. I've never lived anywhere else but Lancaster. I love Lancaster, the community, and I'm just excited to go to work with the chamber.
Well, we're excited to have you. We know you're going to do a great job, and let's just jump right in. You and I started talking about some personal goals that you have, and then you took us, the board, through our planning session in early December, where we set some strategic goals for 2021. But I really want you to talk a little bit about a goal that you first presented to me that you want the chamber to undertake, and the board has approved that and blessed that, and you're really going to spearhead that effort personally. So talk a little bit about that.
Yes, I'm very motivated to create our first minority council for Lancaster County in conjunction with the chamber. Our goal is to create a force to identify some obstacles and some roadblocks to make some successful job attainments and business startups with some resources and training, and just to reach out to some minorities as well as bridge the communication with business and some minorities on how to be successful. And this includes male, female, African Americans, Hispanics, Latin Americans, Native Americans, any minority that, struggle with finding certain tools or break down certain barriers. And I just feel like the chamber is a great vehicle to create such a force to publicize this in our community.
Well, I agree, Eric, and I'm excited that you want to do this and spearhead it. I know in our early on in our research, we found some resources through the South Carolina Chamber, through ACCE, the U.S. Chamber on their education and workforce development side. They have some tools that we can utilize to help us identify. And I think, you and I, we were talking just Tuesday this week, and you pointed out, started naming some names of folks that you're going to reach out to serve on the council. I think that's going to be our real strategy is what are some of our local minority business owners experiencing right here in our own county, in our own state. So I think that's got a lot of potential. I think it's going to be a really, really good thing. Anything else on that front you want to add? I think you covered it though.
For the most part, just want the chamber to help break down these barriers and just help our local economy grow. And it's not targeting a certain population; it's just bringing it all together as one.
Well, I think that's exactly what we need. We need to be working together as one and grow the economy together and not be working against each other. I know businesses compete and and they should be competing, but we also benefit by everybody succeeding. And that's what we want to have happen. And I know that's what you want. So
Exactly.
the chamber is really made up of 4 areas. And Eric, I know you know this. I'm sharing this with the audience. We focus on advocacy, business development, community development, and membership development. And this year you tasked the board a little differently than what's been done in the past. You said you wanted them to come up with one strategic goal in each of those 4 service areas. And I think that was a real strategic move. Tell us a little bit, why don't we start with business development, since we've got a lot of business viewers tuned in right now, and talk about that goal.
Okay. Our chamber champions are the chamber board has entrusted Miss Pamela Tremolo as well as Jamie Rivenbart to spearhead this effort, and mostly to revamp some of the website of the chamber, to clarify membership tiers as well as job opportunities, and just make it more accessible and navigable for our community partners.
Right, and one of the aspects of that you touched on with the job portals, and Emily Pollock on staff has been our communications and marketing director. She just launched that platform. What was it, Monday of this week, Emily? And we already have 6 jobs posted on there. So
Wow.
if you're looking for a job, or if your company is looking for an employee, a great place to go into that. A lot of our members don't realize that every member can go right into our database, and they have their own portal that they can enter information, and that goes right to our website. So everybody really kind of has a free additional website at their disposal if they'll use it. And Emily and Pam have been working with everybody to get that off and running. But we're excited. I mean, 6 jobs posted just this week.
That's excellent.
So I know Pamela.
All the members are get accustomed to it. Hopefully we'll have a lot more job postings.
Right. Well, Pamela is with Comporium Communications. She's the senior VP over marketing, so she's a great person to tap for that. And then Jamie up there, one of the owners of the Office restaurant in Indian Land, they've got a great website, and he really understands the analytics and the back end work of a successful website. So I think you've got a couple of good champions of that goal. Moving on to, advocacy is a big part of what the chamber does. I mean, we monitor what the city, county, and government and school district, what they're doing up to each month. We keep our eyes and go visit Columbia, and as much as we all hate to, we tend to watch Washington, D.C. Not that we've enjoyed watching that the last few weeks, but tell us about some of our goals under that advocacy area, Eric.
Yes, sir. We have Mr. Will Hutchins and Angelica Figueroa with Sharon View Bank that's spearheading these efforts, and they're both are 2 very motivated young professionals, and what their plan is to help enhance the efforts of our public policy committee to communicate and effectively communicate on a more regular basis across multiple platforms. So that's their goal, and they're they've taken this and started running with it already. So I have a lot of confidence that they're going to do a great job with this advocacy goal.
Right. And I know one thing that was discussed at the planning conference is as we a lot of folks don't realize we have a very active public policy committee with about 21 members, and they monitor these actions at the local, state, and federal level all year long, and many times make recommendations to the board of what we support or oppose, or just to provide information to our members. So I know this part of this goal is just to make sure that while that information is coming into the public policy committee and they're reviewing it, they want that information out to our members and make sure our members are aware of a lot of these things so our members can make their own decisions. In many cases, there's some issues that we don't take positions on, but we know our members need to be aware of that. Is that what you're hearing, Erick?
I'm hearing the exact same thing.
Good deal. Under community development, this is kind of a continuation goal. Leadership Lancaster is a program that we've had for 32 years, about to start the 33rd year. And a lot of folks were wondering, normally we would start that in November and it'd run November through May. This year with COVID, we delayed the start, and we're going to start that in February. And we've got a full class, and we'll run February to September and then start back up in November. But talk a little bit about the goal under community development. And I think Walt Collins is spearheading that along with Jimala Wade.
Exactly. Jimala Wade with Rebound, she's a new addition to the board, and we're happy to have her. And Walt Collins has always been a great supporter of the chamber and the community. And they definitely are looking to start a community leader academy to try to recognize some of the individuals in our community that can take our community to another level as well, and continue the torch that individuals have already paved the way for us. Therefore, They're going to just enhance those avenues and continue to keep those avenues strong, with communicating it to the community on identifying those individuals who want to see change in positive ways.
Right. And so in these will be actually additional programs that will be shorter term focused than our Leadership Lancaster, but really kind of taking that leadership development to the next level. So, for example, if someone's wanting to run for political office, there will actually be training involved in how to run for office. Or, and I know the other thing was some higher end personal professional management development in there was a few things that were talked about. Erick, we talked about a number of other things, and I know we've got a short time frame here, just a few more minutes left, and we're excited about having you as our leader. But just a bit of talk on. I know we've got a few a new face over at the chamber. Casey Ballard has started. You want to talk about Casey's role? I've got you on the phone here.
Oh, I'm excited for Casey to be a part of the chamber organization here. He's been a great asset already. He's a troubleshooter, and that's what we like and need, someone that can able to identify an issue and resolve it. And Casey examples those to the fullest. He's able to identify a problem and solve it, and we're happy to have him.
Yeah, I think Casey's going to do a great job, having been a business owner and really, a local realtor here, knows a lot of folks locally, and he'll be able to help a lot of folks with some business needs and business development right here in Lancaster. And certainly Emily will continue on as communication and marketing. Pam Higley-Holt is still on staff running our office. And we hate to see Melissa Price go, but I know she's excited about moving on to Myrtle Beach and starting a new chapter in her life. Erick, anything else you want to share with the group before we call it a day?
I want to thank Brad Small for one. He has brought the chamber, or kept the chamber secured through such a difficult time. And I'm thankful for him handing the baton over to me with the chamber in such a great shape. I want to thank you, Dean, and your staff at the chamber for entrusting me to lead such a fruitful organization. You guys are awesome. I'm just so excited to work with you and your staff and continue to move forward in an upward spring.
Great. Well, I know normally we would have you share a lot of these ideas here in a couple of weeks at our annual meeting, but we can't do that right now in January. Tell us, when do you think we're going to have our annual meeting this year, Erick?
I'm always excited for the annual meeting in January. My family and we always attend, so that's one of those events that we do as a family. So very excited to go. Hopefully by June we'll be able to have our annual meeting to where we can have a meeting that's just for the chamber, with full cooperation from the community. Therefore, safety is our top priority, but hopefully we'll have some things under control by June to have a very successful annual meeting.
Yeah, that sounds good, Erick. And I know that we've been putting information out. That's for those of you who don't know, that's when we have our annual awards for and so our 2020 awards. So if you know anybody that you'd like to nominate for Volunteer of the Year, Business Person of the Year, Small Business Person of the Year, or our Citizenship and Service Award. And then last year we added our top 10 under 40 recognition. So if you know of a local business leader under the age of 40 that you'd like to nominate, send that information to us at the chamber. We'll be closing out those nominations here at the end of January because those are for 2020 recognition. And we hope to get that done in June, as Erick said. But we'll follow safety protocol and be safe. And we hope everybody else out there continues to be safe. And we're starting to hope with the vaccine now out, and MUSC Health announced just this week that they're starting to provide shots. So if you're over 70, you can sign up for that. But hopefully we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, Erick, and look forward to a great year. And I just thank you very much for your willingness to serve. I mean, it's all volunteer job on your part, and it takes a lot of time. So thank you very much for your commitment and dedication to the chamber and to Lancaster County.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Sure thing. We'll see you guys back in a couple of weeks on Taking Care of Business. Thanks, Erick.
All right. Thank you again for having me.